Loves, not sure if I ever told you this story, but my sister, one of her best friends, this was years ago, stole her diamond wedding ring. So this is how she found out that she stole it. So one day she woke up and just found it missing. She couldn't figure out where she put it anymore. And she did have a maid that would come weekly to clean her house. So initially she thought it was the maid, and did the old maid trick where you leave $20 inside a pillow and see if she's going to take it, or like a couch cushion. And that's what she did. And when the maid came, she actually gave it to her and she's like, I found this in the couch cushion. And my sister was like, okay, so it's not her. So then her husband, or ex-husband, I should say now, had like a mini camera in one of those pens. So they came up with a plan where they would put the camera in like a cup or something with a bunch of other pens. And my sister would put like $300 in the top of her purse, kind of sticking out, but not too obvious. And she had invited her best friend over that one time. Her husband was home, obviously. They were trying on clothes upstairs, and then her best friend was like, I have to go downstairs to get something. So she went downstairs, and my sister had put the purse next to the camera. So after she left and my sister's ex had come home, they sat down and they watched what was on the camera. Connected it to a laptop, and then, saw what was on there. The best friend had walked up to the purse and then kind of took, like, I believe it was $100, so it wouldn't be obvious, out of the purse, and then kind of tucked the money back in. So she confronted her friend about this, and then obviously she denied it until she showed her the footage, of what they recorded. And I mean, she was caught. What's she going to say? So my sister told her, I know you stole my wedding ring. She denied that too, but then finally admitted that she sold it at a pawn shop and couldn't get it back. Obviously, they're not friends anymore.
Hello! I am making a football cake, and I used my football shaped pan just because it's easier. I don't have to carve a lot of cake and throw away a lot of scraps. And then I'm going to go ahead and fill it up with cheesecake cream, because red velvet goes great with cheesecake cream, or you can use cream cheese as well. Cover that up, and I'm going to go ahead and ice it a little bit. After I ice it, I put it in the fridge before I cover it in fondant. So, I'm using a little plastic thing to kind of smooth it out a little. Don't mind my face, please, but this is the only angle I can choose to show you guys how do I cover it with fondant. So roll it out nice and thin, and then it has been in the fridge, so I went ahead and got it back. I'm going to go ahead and cover that, basically smoothing it out. Now, there's a secret to smoothing it out when it's not like a good shape, where it's kind of an odd shape. You just get a little bit of fondant, you dip it in some cornstarch, and you actually smooth it out. I'm using a mold that gives it a little bumpy pattern. Part 2 of the football cake. So now I'm going to airbrush it brown, and I do this outside because it makes a huge mess. There you go, nice and shiny. Now I'm going to make the strips that you put on the football, those white strips. I don't know much about football, so here goes. You're going to have one on each end basically, and one in the middle. I put a little, indentation down the football, making holes so I can put the little strips as well. Not sure what they're called, but yeah, tucking them in so they look like they're actually inside the football. And I'm adding the stitching pattern that the football actually has. And yep, you got to be very careful, because if you mess up, you can't fix it. And now I'm going to make some grass around the football to pretend like the football was sitting in grass, or it fell in the grass basically. And that's it. There you have it. This person wanted that specific logo on the cake, and it's all done. Thanks for watching.
Hello, love. So what did my husband think about my caking career when I first got married? Actually, I was a teacher. When I first got married, I went to college, got my teaching degree, and then taught for like 10 years. During that time, I had gone back and got my master's degree in ESL, English as a second language. I had my 2 girls, and then within my last 10th year of teaching, I had my son. Then I told my husband, because I work at a charter school, I make a lot less money than a public school teacher. So by the time my paycheck came in, I would have taken in most of it out on daycare, a maid to help me clean the house because I would not have had the time, and probably takeout for most of the week because I would be exhausted. By the time I'm done, I'd end up with like $100, and that wasn't even worth it. So because I was teaching, I did have health insurance for the entire family, and health insurance, as you know, in America is very expensive. So not only was the second income gone, but also the health insurance. After Ali was born, about a month into it, I got really bored at home. I could not stay still, so I started caking. I did it mainly for family and friends, but then people started asking me for orders, and so I started my page. And my husband at first was like, you quit your job to do this? Mainly because I was literally exhausted, guys, and I was making pennies on the dollar. I really was. So to him, it was like, all this hard work for what, I mean, even after 5 years, he still wasn't into it, because he's like, you're really working yourself to the bone for nothing. But then I grew on social media, and that really did help financially. And he sees the benefits of that, and now he's cool with it. Loves, so do my kids get bored of eating cake? Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys, and this comes to a shocker to a lot of people. My family doesn't really like cake. I personally don't even like cake that much. If it were up to me, I'd rather have like really good cookies or a bag of chips. Like if you gave me an option of a cake slice or a bag of chips, I would choose the bag of chips. Except for the cake at P.F. Chang, the Great Wall of Chocolate. Oh, I can I can devour that thing on my own. And I don't even want to learn how to make it because, yeah, that's a dangerous path. Regardless, though, they don't really get cake often because most of these cakes are for customers and I rarely ever have any leftovers. And even when it comes to special occasions like birthdays and whatnot, I just make them a cake for like the ambiance of it. Is that the word? I hope that's the correct word. I actually majored in language arts and you'd never think it with my limited vocabulary. Yeah, so we're not really cake people, I guess.
In Italy, this was 21 years ago. I guess nudity is kind of common there. Now, if you're from Italy, you can go ahead and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is just from what I saw because it's been 21 years, so it could have changed. Anywho, my brother-in-law lives in Italy, and we were very lucky because we saved on a hotel, we saved on car rental, and we saved on a tourist guide and somebody who spoke Italian. So we were visiting a tourist site, and we happened to be walking along the beach, and then this lady just stood up, took off her bikini bottom, shook off all the sand from it, and kind of put it back on. Listen, okay, both my hubby and I were kind of like staring like what the heck just happened. My brother-in-law told me it's kind of common there. Funny thing is she was giving me eye contact because I was the only hijabi at a beach area. Who am I kidding? I was the only hijabi for like miles on end. She was probably looking at me thinking, girl, why you so covered up? And I'm looking at her thinking, I just seen your nether regions. She was not a natural blonde.
Hello, loves. So somebody had commented, or several people actually commented on my last video saying that, ooh, going on your honeymoon with your brother-in-law? Here's the thing. He lived in Italy in an apartment by himself. And we basically traveled around Europe. We went to Paris, France. We went to Germany. And then we also visited the tourist sites in Italy as well. My brother-in-law is a very cool, very chill man. Okay, he is awesome. In fact, I've even told my husband his personality is better than yours. He is trilingual, so he knows how to speak Italian and Arabic and English. So we didn't need anyone to translate anything for us. We didn't have to pay for our hotel room because he let us use his room. We didn't have to bother a whole bunch of people because you're talking about 21 years ago. We couldn't take like selfies with our camera. It was kind of hard, or even record ourselves. So he was kind of our photographer in that sense, where he would constantly take pictures of us without us knowing, and candid shots basically, as well as videos. I mean, I have a video of me and my husband walking along the pier because my brother-in-law took it of us without knowing. And I think that is so cute in itself. We didn't have to pay for car rental because we just used his car. And he basically showed us everywhere to go. He's not the type who kind of stuck to us. He knew when to give us our alone time, I guess. So no hotel payment, no car rental, no tourist guide, and our own personal photographer. I say it's a win-win. I didn't have an issue. Hello, loves. This is Topper Tuesday, and let's see if you can guess what this says by the time I'm done with it. But anyways, I have many asking to see pictures and videos of my honeymoon, and the videos, I'm not sure where they are. They were on VHS. If you don't know what that is, I'm sure many of you youngins out there are like, what the heck is a VHS? Vehicle housing support? Vampire hunter system? Vultures hiding southbound? No, it's what people used to record things on back then as videos. I think I converted them into CDs. I'm not sure. Really, I have to go look for them. But now that you have me thinking about it, I'm really worried that I don't know where I put them anymore. My pictures I do have, and I'll post a couple when I find a couple of cute ones. But literally, they're so cute. My brother-in-law just snapped pictures here and there of us walking together, and we didn't even realize it until we had to print them out. We had to print pictures back then to see what they were. We didn't get a preview, so we just prayed they were good. Hello, loves. So from my honeymoon story, I did get asked if I got any weird looks or if anyone was just mean to me in any way. Now, I have been wearing my hijab for, well, since I was 9, a very long time. It's become like a second skin. I really don't pay attention to it. And in my mentality, I'm thinking to myself that if I'm not paying attention to it, then nobody else really is. But that's not the case, unfortunately. Now, when I go somewhere that I'm just so excited about, I am in awe of everything. So I don't pay attention to people. I pay attention to what it is. And I didn't see it. I had no idea. But when we were finally back home, husband or I was asked if anyone was looking at me weird or anything like that. And I was like, no. And then he's like, what are you talking about? Everywhere we went, people were just staring like crazy. Oh, well.